What amazes me more is why have these two worlds developed apart? Well, in recent times, because in the beginning they were connected. The Renaissance scientists were also artists. Just remember Leonardo and all of the other people like that. And both activities require individual commitment, which sometimes it's almost obsession. When you are finishing a work, trying on the verge of discovering something, or the artist when he's finishing his work, sometimes they are able to work for hours and hours and hours without even eating or sleeping. It is almost an obsession. And that is also common in scientists. Creativity, both activities require creativity, because both artists and scientists are creating or are discovering something which nobody told them how to do and did not exist before, or at least was not shown before. And also both activities involve vision, because many of these people are visionaries in the sense that their work is not even always recognized when it is being done. And sometimes many years after that, you discover that that result, that paper is cited, that was very important, and or that work of art created a new strand or opened new ideas. And of course, both activities need public support and sponsoring, because they are non-profit. Well, at least in Portugal, there are places like in the United States where science and technology have a lot of support from companies. In Portugal, it is not true, at least for now. And in Europe, it is very limited. In any case, fundamental quest for knowledge, like astronomy or like the principles of biology, it is not very easy to be funded by companies. They tend to fund more applied things that they see there's a profit nearby. So both activities, in this sense, have some vulnerability because they are dependent on the
For instance, for informatics, language, computers, but also biotechnology. One of the main concerns today of FBI in the United States is the possibility of very young people use biotechnology as a very mismanaged and dangerous experiment, causing, for instance, an explosion, a virus explosion, whatever, a biological explosion in some little town. You know, it's like upgrading the, you know, those events in schools, in secondary schools in the United States. They are really worried about that possibility. And why they are worried? Because knowledge is becoming embedded in young people's life. I mean, people are learning science today, not from the school, at school, but at home. I mean, they just connect to the computers, and when they are 5 years old, they start learning things, and when they are 12 years old, they know more than most scientists in the 17th century.
Okay. There are two more people that want to speak over there.
Hello. My opinion about this subject and concern is that it's much more easy in a way to understand how the questions that we've been putting all day, how art contributes to science and how science contributes to art. These two questions are like in an embryonic stage where we understand how we relate each other, but then we have difficulty from the perspective of the art thinking. What we produce is producing to the art field, to the artistic experience. And from like curators' point of view, from people that thinks about art historically and contextually, when we look to photography, to film, to video art, There are all arts that had some intersection with different disciplines. And one of the problems, or the biggest problem and the concern, is to understand deeply what is changing. Like the person before up here was talking about that the issues, the techniques change, but the issues continue the same. And this is the most important thing for someone that thinks about art, is to understand if the new mediums, both software, biology, wherever, they are creating new forms, but like they output some new effect formally, but they are they are not achieving any new issue, and this is very hard to understand. And this is, for instance, often curators that create 60s, 70s, 80s artwork, they found the discourse of art is technocrat. When artists start to talk about their works, they talk about how it was done, what means they use, but they don't address what they are intellectually changing. And this, in every venue or every meeting, we end the day, and from the artist's perspective of view, we end the day without, we didn't, that's why I said embryonary stage, because we didn't, are able yet to understand and to evaluate deeply what is the deep discourse about what we are doing. For instance, to give two examples to be very practical. When we see images that, like some examples that we show during the day, of an image that was that used the scientific data and was organized in a very creative way, is that art? Because in the critical point of view of today, because it outputs an image, it uses science in a very creative way, but the discourse that is achieving is almost modernist. Or when we have the discourse of biotechnology that deals with ethics and politics, in terms of intellectual I'm finishing, sorry. In terms of intellectual motivation, I'm finishing. It's the same, were like concerns that performance artists did in the 60s.
Thank you.